Hello everyone, and welcome again to my side project that I call Kolhiiheadz. Oh, wait, wrong title. This year, we are talking about our chosen theme for Bionicle Day. That would be, of course, the Bohrok. Now, I spent a long time working on these this year, and let me tell you, it was not easy. So let's just get right to the main point of what the Bohrok are. First and foremost, you have to ask the question, what do the Bohrok need? First, you want it to roll up into a ball. And you also want its neck to snap forward. Preferably not at the same time, but, you know, you do you. What do you also need? Well, you need to be able to remove the head plate. And you need to be able to remove the Krana. And that's what my little boys do. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to the cast. First, we're going to go over some of the notes on all 6 of them, and then we will go over them individually. So, they have officially 164 parts, with the exception of the Bohrok, who has 165. I had to go through 8 different redesigns on the Bohrok, just based off of different designs, different choices, and ultimately, I've got to this final version. Now, one of the challenges I had this year is I decided to build my Bohrok physically before I ever made the instructions. And, hoo boy, that was not easy. But it wasn't that expensive either, so that's important. It does have the ability to fold up into a tiny, well, a false ball, and I'll explain that as I go. But ultimately, it works. And I also have to give a quick shout out to Vakiti, who did all the editing for my covers, and you'll see them as we go. But without further ado, let me introduce you to the Round Boys. Let's start with Tannock. As you can see, it has the standard colors of a Tannock, and it was the first one that I designed, so I'm kind of sick and tired of the color red. But, you know, that's what you do. Moving on, we have Levok. Now, Levok is the biggest challenge because one specific element was finally introduced just this year. A 1x1 brick with a single stud on the side. What was really the challenge is there's a specific type of brick that you'll see on the screen here, a 1x4 brick with 4 studs on the side. Now that one exists, but as you can see, it's not cheap. So instead I've utilized 2 of the 1x2s that you see here. It just made more sense. It's cheaper, it's easier. If I'm not going to pay for it, why should I expect you to pay for it? Next up we have Galok. Galok was very tricky color-wise, just because medium blue is a really hard color to just kind of get, so that's what led to some of the design choices that you see, such as the arms being this black Technic and not so much feature of the limbs. This was the challenge of having to work within the LEGO system and also provide you with a wonderful building and I would say playing experience, but is there really play in Kolhiiheadz? I'll leave that up to you. Next up, we have Nuvok. Nuvok is a very fun little character. The problem is I'm not a huge fan of the all-black look, but you know, I mean, that's whatever. Both Nuvok and Korok later, you'll notice, have a 1x2 grill for the eye there. That's because that element does not exist in 1x2 in that color. Compromises had to be made. That's what I get for providing the best possible view of all these characters. Next up, we have Bohrok. Bohrok was very, very fun to kind of work around as well, because it was a choice between using reddish brown, which is more common which is the more common color, or utilizing the classic brown. But I think I made the right choice by upgrading the color, much like I did with the Hatu. It's not traditional, but it is just as iconic. Likewise, also, it was a torn decision between using classic green and the new bright green for the Krana, but I think the bright green matches the rubber a little better. But I think the bright green matches the rubber Krana a little better for Parak. It's your choice either way, but I personally would buy it in the bright green. Finally, we have Kolhiiheadz. Now, Kolhiiheadz, this one is, again, similar to Nuvok. You have to have that specific 1x2 grill tile. That's just because of the limitation of what's in the system. Likewise, as well, as monochromatic as it is, it's really hard to see some of the features, such as the teeth there. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, okay, so last year the Toa were all free. Clearly, Swert has something else in mind, right? Well, to which of that I say, I don't want a dime for them yet. Go get them right now. They are free because they're all effectively copy-pastes of themselves. I don't think they're worth charging yet. Having said that, I am thinking about that for the future, so we'll get to that topic maybe next year. Now you might be wondering to yourself, okay, so you said you've been working on this for 2 months, so what else is there? Well, if you are not currently a follower on our Discord, very subtle plug there, then you would definitely not have seen some of the new additions we have made. Or if you're in another Discord, though you surely be in ours, you may have seen me post a few emoji. Let's just say I think I may have nailed what really should be the big presentation this year. That is not a deception. What you are seeing is, in fact, the start of my brand new wave, Kolhiiheadz Geared Up. A revolutionary new phase in the Kolhiiheadz where I have decided to just go to town. I've created, I have edited, I have worked hard on recombining all of my Kolhiiheadz from the previous year with new designs, with a revolutionary gearbox that I've designed. I say revolutionary, it's literally like 4 parts. But that's revolutionary because trying to get it in that small a space without using Technic was a trick. I say it's a trick, it is system, but getting it so compact without using specialized Technic forms is really the trick here. As you can see, we have Gali with her moving arms, and we have Tahu with his one moving arm. The geared up system is designed to be interchangeable between styles, so you have your typical standard gearbox with a single gear motion. You have your double gear system so that both arms can move at the same time, or if you're not quite into the purism of gear systems, just ignore it and put it in a pin. It's all entirely up to you. The world is your oyster. But with that out of the way, let me introduce you to the lineup and some very interesting changes, I'm sure. First up, Tahu. He is my very first one. 157 parts with a brand new mask design. Specifically, I've changed the side of the head. It's all otherwise the same. I modified my original Tahu in real life with this gear system. As you can see from this little video clip here, worked flawlessly the first time I did it. I was so proud of that design. Like last year, Tahu, Liwa, and Gali all have their alternative instructions for colorblind individuals. I forgot to mention this earlier, and I should have, but the Bohrok actually don't have that issue this year. because I started by insisting they be the colorblind ones. But I completely forgot about that until I got to here, and I forgot to make notes. Hey. Oh, you gotta love the joys of live editing. Unfortunately with Tahu, I still cannot solve the melting and lava issue, so you're just gonna have to get over it. Next up, we have Liwa. Now, he was the second one I designed with the system in mind. 146 parts, and I'll be honest, not much has seemed to have changed on him. The arms are a little different. The hand is very interesting design, matching the original style, but otherwise, I mean, yeah, he's got the upside down tile still. That's cool. Unfortunately, he does not really swing on the vines, but he can chop with his axe, so that's all that counts. Next, we have Kopaka. Now, Kopaka was my third geared up modifier. 145 parts, required very little modification to update, believe it or not. Switch out the arms and you're done. Well, and color out the inside, but didn't have to change the head, didn't have to change much. His neck was already more or less designed for the system, which was very interesting. Oh, and for everybody at home, I would like to inform you that he is indeed going to therapy to help break his Seattle Freeze habit. You know, it's my fault. I raised him here. He's going to get used to people. I promise. I really do promise. And if you're not sure what the Seattle Freeze is, ask your Pacific Northwest friend. They'll know. Next up, Onua. He's the fourth design that I finally finalized, but he is the second one with the gearbox system. He has 131 parts. I've reinforced his head a little bit to match the geared up system a little better. He has a default double geared model so that both arms will move in unison with each other. And just like last year, he's still happy, he's still diggy. Next up, Golly. She was the fifth geared up that I made, 148 parts, featuring the hook hands that's still there. They now move completely. But something you may have noticed from last year that I haven't really advertised very much, but at the same time, you would have spotted if you'd seen the promotional advertising for Kolhiiheadz 2, which was I've completely redesigned the mask altogether. And with that, I'm also introducing the brand new Golly redesign instructions, also posted on the same page right now. Unfortunately, I still couldn't solve the hooks. They're still way too short for climbing, but hey, at least both arms will move, so she's got that going for her. Kudos. Finally, and this is the one that I dreaded the most, introducing Pahatu. Now, the reason he's the last is not because I hate Pahatu. I love Pahatu as a character. I love the fact that his torso is so unique. The reason is because I knew what would happen if I built his torso now, what changes I'd have to make. He has 161 parts and a radical new torso design from last year. You'll notice the arms are new. They are different. It's by design. All brand new foot design as well. They finally introduced the tile that I wanted last year, so thanks, Titanic. And this is where I will also mention that all the geared up Kolhiiheadz can be converted to either single gear or double gear usage. So, in other words, he can kick and he can run. Now, in total, there are 888 parts between all 6 TOA. All 6 are available right now, also for free. I cannot stress this enough. I am super happy with the new designs. I think they are amazing, and wait, what's going on? What is... Everyone, may I please introduce you to Tahu, 90 Years Edition. He's the last Kolhiihead of the season. He has 119 parts. He's inspired by the 90 Years of Play Mini-Hoo Tahu. If you couldn't tell from now, you're now informed. He's built to match 2 2 times the scale of the parts. And that was not easy. You can see the design from here. You can see what I had to do to make that work. More importantly, you may notice if you're a keen-eyed viewer, I actually put his eyes on turntables. They can be posed. That's something you cannot do with Mini-Who right now. And I realize not all of you who are colorblind can see this particular version right now with this green background. Don't worry. I got you covered. There will be a colorblind friendly version also available for download right now. So that does it. That does it for me. As far as what's coming out today. But what about soon? Well, just like last year, I'm going to go ahead and put this screen up. I gotta protect myself. So, when I was working on my Bohrok, I realized I already have a Kolhiiheadz system already in place. But wait a minute, the Toa didn't just have themselves during 2002, they also had something else. So I took a challenge, and I'm still working on it. But how does everybody feel about buying, I don't know, an Exo Toa? I personally like it. Still work in progress. I'm working on the head next. Didn't have a chance to finish it in time, and there are a few changes I might make to this. But, I mean, what comes after the Exo Toa? Well, obviously we have to deal with some Protodermis. Now, you've seen these last year. This is nothing new, but you know what has changed since last year? Geared Up changed. So let me reintroduce you to the Toa Nupa. I will have these done by next year. This is still preliminary. I'm not quite sure if I'm happy with the design just yet, but these were not the only things you saw last year. Let's go ahead and reintroduce an old friend with some twists. And with that, I guess I'm done. Thank you so much for coming to watch my presentation, and I guess now's the right time to take questions if you would have any for me. So feel free to throw them in the chat, and I will answer them live right here, right now. Let's go. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and take as many questions as we have. RG refers to red-green. That way, if you're red-green colorblind, that's all that means. Favorite color? PSO and blue. Oh, and thanks. Yeah. European. They're smaller and easier to carry. Matoran Kolhiiheadz, I thought about them. I've been trying to work on them on the side, but there's way too many factors, and I'm like, let's just get the other stuff out of the way. Drago Designs, maybe. I've already got a kind of a prototype, but I'm not sure how I would do those just yet. Rahi, I thought about them, and also big sets. Whatever. My favorite Makuta, Makuta. Ikarax, really fun character. Not sure yet about the Rakshi yet. I haven't gotten that far yet. The G2 Kolhiiheadz, it'd be fun. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm doing these live right now. 2004 Toa, we'll see what happens. Good guy. Oh, please. Bariki, I don't know if I have that much purple to work with. Bohrok, all and Va. Bohrok, definitely. Va, not sir. I'm telling you all right now, there are no Kolhiihead NFTs, and there never will be. Fuck NFTs. Yes, that's a rare Swert F-bomb. Kitongu Kolhiihead, yeah. Pretty much, if you're going to say, is there a Kolhiihead? Yes, there might be. Though I'm not sure yet how it's going to be done yet. Taraga, I thought about them. I'm not sure how I want to do them. I actually have a Huna design. I will say, Liam, are you there? Can you pull up the Bahi? Did I give you that one?
Yeah, I'm coming on for this one. I'm live now too, because I was just about to go do something, but yeah, I can pull that up if I can find it in my giant list of things that you've sent me. There it is.
I don't even remember what the list is.
There's the boy.
Yeah. That is absolutely something I want to make happen.
Yeah. I need to make the joke again, though, that he looks like Riff Raff. It's astounding.
You're not wrong.
Time is fleeting.
Also, did you have a chance to input those other ones?
Yeah. No, I put in everything you sent me.
All right. Please pull up the other idea I had for Liwa literally 3 days ago.
If I can figure out which one. No, that's the Krana. That's just the regular Krana. There he is.
Yep. This is something I will eventually make happen.
To put fade transitions on these. Ignore this nonsense.
Right. So, I thought about this one. I'm going to try to refine this one as well. I'm happy with it, though. I think it's good. I think I like it. Yeah, he looks so sleep deprived. He is me.
Same.
But yeah, I threw him on the geared up version because it can transition over the correct standard one either way.
Huh?
Oh, am I getting echoed? It's possible you're getting me on both desktop audio and
that
Discord.
Would be my fault. I forgot to plug in my headphones. We're professionals.
What was the question there? I'm just like somebody asking, will the work what? A few people are. I'm trying to see what the answer is. Yeah, gear functions and Kolhiiheadz. That is literally what I've introduced today. They are working gear functions, and I have my Tahoe sitting right next to me, and it works perfectly. XML lists, I forgot to render those. I've been so slammed, but I will get those made by the end of the week. And they'll be in the XML folder on the website as well. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, that is going to happen. Kolhiiheadz Trend Crom, only if I want to go insane. Hero Factory Kolhiiheadz, at that point I would just have to call them Hero Heads or something.
Huh.
G2, I'm thinking about that one. It's a little too soon in my opinion for anything G2 related. We're talking it's been 20 years for these. Okay, yeah, core heads. There you go. You know what? I give it to the world. If anybody wants to design their own Hero Factory core heads, be my guest. I don't have the trademark on any of this stuff. Kaida, I've been meaning to try to build a Kaida.
Slicer heads. Now there's an idea.
What's that? Slicer heads. Oh, that's a deep cut, and that might work. Yeah, rolling heads.
Rider heads. Oh
yeah.
Voodoo heads. There you go.
I'm doing great. I woke up at 8 o'clock this morning, 8:10 actually, ironically. Barag, you know what? You bring that up. Did I send you that?
You did not send you. I mean, you sent me screenshots of the work in progress, but you didn't give me any
renders,
any indication that I should put it in OBS, so it doesn't exist.
Okay. It does not exist, but I have renders that I can share. I have something. No, I did send you the renders.
Yeah, you sent me the render, but you never told me to put it in OBS or anything.
My bad. Well, go ahead and if you can throw that in real fast on the screen somehow.
It's not something I can do really quickly without it looking like ass.
I'll tell you what. It'll be easier for me to just link it directly in the chat. Anyway, Kaida, I don't have all 6 of them build, and I'd rather have all 6 physical ones to slam together to see what I can mash out. So,
I mean, it'll certainly be easier than building the actual Kaida, because you can just take them apart into individual bricks and build whatever you want.
Yeah. Anyway, that's as far as I got on the Balrog so far. I really am not happy with it thus far. I want to find other ways to do the legs that are just better. But I like how they look. All I have to do is figure out how to attach the... Oh, actually, the feet would be pretty easy if it's done right. No, you know what? This entire thing's going to fall apart in 5 seconds anyway. It's not... I'm going to have to redesign the whole thing anyway. I just thought about how I would do it. Yeah, Mega Ultra Chicken.
Arise, chicken. Arise.
Arise! Plans to make Kolhiiheadz Titans that are actually double the size. That's actually not a bad idea.
Oh my god, no, I just had the best idea, actually. You know how Funko Pops sometimes have those, like, absolutely massive, like,
yeah, the 10-inch tall ones?
Yeah, just do that with the... That's your next wave of the Toa.
Oh, man. I actually thought about doing, like, a 3x scale.
Kolhiiheadz Ultimate Collector Series.
You know what? I guarantee if I do that, I make this vow right now. If I make a 10-inch scale Kolhiihead, Tino Nui is the first one I make. That is my promise to you. Big. Oh man, how much more time do we have?
You can see more of Big Tino Nui tomorrow on Dry Dawn, live on the Beaver House.
Yes. All right. Well, still got about another 15 minutes. Is there anything else I forgot to bring up on the photos, like that you know of?
I mean, you've given me so many, and we've only shown off like 3 of them.
That's true. Feel free to throw whatever up on the screen real fast.
Well, let's see. Put that up first, and then we got another look at the Exotoa, I guess. That's a thing.
Yeah. The Exotoa was, like I said, I would love to do these. Any ideas for things other than Kolhiiheadz? I'm glad you asked. There is a joke that Liam and I had, and Can I talk about it, or should we wait?
I think madness will take its toll.
All right, so listen closely.
Not for very much longer.
I'm looking at... I can't finish the line. I'm sorry.
When I made that joke about the Tahu with the Vahi looking like riffraff, that just went on a complete tangent, and long story short, we're considering Rocky Horror Brickheads now. We're going to call it the Blocky Horror Picture Show.
And I'm absolutely on board for this. Of course, it's going to be really fun sourcing out all that gold parts just for Rocky's trunks.
Yeah, but it'll be worth it.
How much do I estimate on the Bohrok will cost? Based on how I built it and what it's designed to be, I mean, I try to keep it as cheap as possible, but each one should be no more than $15 to $20 in Bricklink pricing. I don't have the exact numbers in my hand. Hose Rift Kolhiiheadz, never. Sorry.
Coward.
I know. I'm a bit of a coward. Boxor, yes and no.
I don't think that would be really doable until you decide whether or not you're going to do a Matoran model.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing the Matoran model in the same scale as like the smaller ones, like they did with Yoda and.
No. Here's what you have to do. I made this suggestion before. You need to do the Matoran in the same design. Like, you have the Toa as the Kolhiiheadz. Now you either need to do the Turaga or the Matoran in the style of Minihu. And that way they'll be to scale, generally speaking.
Yeah.
And then you can build the Boxer around that.
And you too can get a brand new Kolhiiheadz Boxor for $80. At that rate. Yeah, Call are easy enough to build right now. I mean, it's not that hard to switch out the colors and the instructions are. It's going to be a palette swap. So
yeah, well, that's just what the Cal are. What I suggested, and something that we're still probably going to talk about next year, is I would like to see the Bohrok have decals on the shields and the Krana.
I know.
That way it helps separate them other than just colors.
Takanuva exists. I have him. He's actually sitting on my desk, and there's only one other person with the instructions.
Thick Gorast Kolhiiheadz.
Makuta, sorry. Makuta, sorry. Makuta, sorry.
I knew chat was gonna lose it over that. I like the moment I saw it, I was like, chat is gonna lose their fucking minds over this.
Metronubia, Kolhiiheadz. You know, that's tempting to use that name.
I do like
but
that.
I would probably
like that a lot.
We'll have to discuss that, and I'm still not sure how I'm going to do the triangular body of the Vatoran in that one, if I do them.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. To clarify, we're referring to something that just happened on the Mangai. What was it? Mangai project? Is that the name? Okay. I looked at the schedule, but I don't remember the schedule. It's too much for me to concentrate on.
We've been staring at this schedule for like
3 months.
6 months now.
Yeah. Ernak, that's 2026 at the earliest. I'm not going to do anything.
You just build like a transparent chamber into his back and just fill it with trans neon green studs.
Right. As for a Yusunui, stay tuned. I've been given that suggestion.
By me.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I would do it yet. Probably the same way as the Exotor, where they just sit upright.
Yeah.
Instead of like leaning forward. I would love to see it. Variki, I could probably look into it, but it's kind of boring in my opinion.
Do it, coward. Do it.
Anyway, we'll take another 4 or 5 minutes. We're just kind of venting to vent because this was literally described as dead air.
I knew you weren't going to be able to fill a whole 20 minutes Q&A.
You know what, though? I mean, we've got 10 minutes to get to reviving Bionicle.
Yeah.
I'm filling it up pretty fast.
Yeah, no, you're correct. Brickhead's
it would be tough to do Variki in the authentic gold purple. I would have to use newer styles. The character am I most afraid of designing this style? Hordika. I'll probably skip Hordika if I do.
No, you can't. You can't. If you do up to 2005, you cannot skip the Hordika. You just can't have an empty space in your portfolio like that.
We will,
You have no choice in the matter. You need to collect.
I've got the chat on my side. Keat Tonga would be very fun using Keat Orange, because they've introduced so many of those colors. This Rock Kolhiiheadz is going to be very interesting to try to design. I may have to build them so that their legs are just like stubby or something. Like using the Skull Spider legs. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
So if there are any other questions that I haven't addressed... I'm not sure how I'm going to do Rudaka. I don't know if there are enough studs big enough.
Nurai Dawn.
Yeah, Nurai Dawn. Oh, Tino, my friend.
Swert, my comrade.
I wonder if Lahar is listening in. Swert Kolhiiheadz, I have plans for it. I didn't want to release them much before I did Takanuva because I use it in Evoki.
Oh my god, Galador brickheads, and you can swap out the different parts of each of them.
just put them on like in fact
you just like attach them with pins or something.
Yeah, no, I could totally do that. You just have bricks in the torso. You build your torso and you switch out the legs, you switch out the arms using pins, and the head could easily be put on
heads. There you go.
Yeah. Christian Favor Kolhiiheadz Special Edition JPEG. Yes, and you too can get your Christian Favor Kolhiiheadz Special Edition by right-clicking and saving right now. We're not talking about Gorast yet. That's 2028 at the earliest, if I keep this up by then. And also, I do also want to ask the chat, since we're at this point, again, one of the discussions is possibility of monetization, and I asked this poll a while back, and I want to ask the audience, how would you prefer to get these in the future if I do monetize it? So, for example, would you prefer to pay for the instructions, or would you prefer me to send you a kit, which would be a lot more expensive, but that's a discussion for later? Would you prefer me to set up, like, say, a Patreon and you just download the instructions from there? All of these have different problems with themselves.
I still think you should put these on Lego Ideas. I said it last year, I'll say it again. I
know. I mean, the problem is, I guarantee nobody's going to want to, well, if I get 10,000 voters, that'd be great. Supporters.
Look, even if you don't get all the support that you need, what's the harm in trying? It's not like it costs anything.
True. I might do that with the Geared Up, but I've already given out the instructions, so...
I mean, so what?
Well...
If it gets approved, Lego's gonna change them anyways.
That's the other problem. At least if I do it my own way, I mean, I get exactly what I designed.
Right, but I can't imagine the changes Lego making would be anything terrible.
Yeah, and ET does say it best. I mean, even with a second chance, Dakota couldn't get his to get out there. But then again, the first time he got the support within 36 hours. He got the set up there. It's just they didn't accept it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were literally up against one of the biggest Castle, or was it Space? It was Castle, wasn't it? But yeah. And a bird. The bird haunts me.
Speaking of Bionicle fans and brick form stuff, I was very surprised to see that a brick built set won the 90th contest.
Yeah, so was I. The Helix looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's really nice looking. It's just not at all what I expected to win.
Yeah. We also ended up getting that one. We're no longer really talking about Kolhiiheadz right now. Yeah, the typewriter and the bird, the two mortal enemies. And Seinfeld. Seinfeld was the other mortal enemy.
And I have that right next to me, actually.
Of course you do. The results have been posted on Ideas.
Cold.
Here, I'm pulling up the contest results now, and I'll send it.
Oh, looks like Tammy's got it. Thank you very much, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy. Kolhiiheadz Optimus Prime.
Oh my god.
You joke, but that's something I would totally have done if I had time. And keep in mind, we're gonna have another
speaking of
later.
Dakota, how's it going?
Hey, Skoda.
If you wake one, you wake them all, Jerry. Giddy up.
But yeah, later today we'll have a better general Q&A. So that'll be where we can also talk more about
planned
this
from the start, I might add.
Oh, absolutely, totally planned. It's even in the schedule. See, it's on the schedule. Even says it right there.
Oh yeah,
live Q&A. Yeah,
that's always been there. You can't prove otherwise.
Not anymore, anyway. I mean, what?
Anyways, we should probably be wrapping up here fairly soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out to Skoda releasing the instructions for the model. Amazing. Yeah. I'm planning to download that here soon. Believe, didn't you tell me about that a while back, Skoda, and it just slipped my mind?
I'm Cosmo Kramer, the Gorast Man.
Pricing for the model is probably going to not be that bad. Uh-oh.
Owen, no.
Owen, what have you done? Oh, no.
What have you done? Oh, no. Oh, no. I see the file name. I can see for the file name.
I already saw it.
Oh, no.
We here at BSL1 do not condone you putting a Rudaka Kolhiihead in a jar. That said, if you do it, please don't tell me about it. I think we have to wrap it up from there.
Yeah, I think that's just not necessarily a good note to leave off on. But it's certainly a note.
Yep. But the final note is, if everybody doesn't see where it is, Tahu 90 Years is at the very bottom of the page. And I will link the page one last time so everybody can see what I'm talking about. At the very bottom of the page, and there's also a red-green friendly version for everybody to see. I think that's all that there is. The only other note is, by all means, feel free to look at the redesign for Gali and Tahu, and they're pretty cool. I like them. I thank everybody for coming to see this presentation. I hope I did pretty well. I thought it did pretty well, but yeah.
And it was totally live all the way through.
Absolutely. I've been pushing buttons on PowerPoint the whole time.
We totally didn't just like pre-record the first segment and then come on live seamlessly exactly like we did last year.
Yeah, no, totally live, totally. And I haven't been uploading the contents during Gather Friends all day, I promise. One final note, sorry. I love my Geared Up logo. I'm super happy with how that turned out.
And one final note for me, I have something else to show off as well.
All right.
That is all. Have fun with that one, everyone. We'll see you... When are we live again? The Q&A?
Yep, that would be the next time we are officially... I mean, no, we're live all day.
Well, yes, of course, absolutely.
And I guess we're jumping right in now to
Reviving
our next segment.
Bionicle.
Here we go.
See you shortly, everyone.
Have a good one, and enjoy Bionicle Day.